Good evening. It's Thursday, January the 13th. We begin with Metro Atlanta facing a triple weather threat headed into the weekend.
Georgians are doing what they can to prepare for the upcoming winter storm. Our Jamie Kennedy has the latest.
The experts saying now is the time to do that. Here you can see a whole lot of winter weather preps here down at the Ace. And earlier they had another huge stack of this out the front. That's all gone. Sleds, they had extra of those. Lots of those have gone. So now the experts say is the time to really prep and prepare. The thought of freezing rain, snow and ice is no joke for some.
Don't know what the weather's going to be like on Sunday, so I don't want to take any chances. So I'm in here to buy some ice melt.
This weekend's weather has many already hitting hardware stores around the metro.
A lot of sleds. Of course, ice melter is a high demand item. Safety products as it pertains to being able to get in and out of the driveway is obviously an important concern for people.
Experts say many Atlantans aren't great with winter prepping.
Very few are proactive in that way. It's a good thing as far as something to have on hand so that you're not a prisoner in your own home basically when everything starts to fall and create hazardous situations.
With the freezing temperatures coming, now is the time, according to experts, to make sure the outside doesn't come in.
Right now is a great time to seal up gaps and cracks that you have around windows. I know we have a lot of older homes in Atlanta, and if you've ever felt that cold wind coming through a window or a gap or crack around a door, this weather seal will take care of that.
Supply issues have been hampering many businesses through the pandemic.
I have been in here and they were out, because I waited until Friday or Saturday or whatever. So I wanted to get a little bit of head start.
Home Depot in Midtown and Ace Hardware on Peachtree in Buckhead says there is no need to panic buy as far as winter prep supplies go.
We have a good amount of it, yes. A good amount of sleds and things for your car as far as the scrapers and the whole nine.
And the best thing about this stuff is that it does not go off. So when you get it, it's not like the ice melt or the Sultan stuff does go off. So it's a good idea to have it on hand. Now, it's not just homeowners who are prepping as well. Of course, Hartsfield-Jackson, the world's busiest airport, also in big prep mode for this winter weather advisory. So we'll have more on that coming up in the 6 o'clock. Live at Ace Hardware in Buckhead, Jamie Kennedy for CVS 46 News.
Just last week, hundreds of drivers in Virginia got stuck on I-95 after another winter storm. Many of them were trapped with nowhere to go for over 24 hours. This may not be the case, hopefully, here in the metro, but you should consider building a supply kit for your car. The National Weather Service suggests having a cell phone charger, jumper cables, first aid kit, snacks, blankets, warm clothes, and of course, a full tank of gas. And you don't have to get caught off guard. To get winter weather warnings from your community sent directly to your phone in real time, download the free CBS 46 streaming app.
Now at 5, this young girl is fighting for her life in the hospital. This is Kendall Thomas. She was hit by a car while at school. Well, now her family is pleading for her support as their little girl works to recover. CBS 46's Savannah Louie spoke with her parents today.
Yeah, I spoke with Kendall's mother today, who tells me that she's actually sick right now, which means she can't be inside of the hospital to comfort Kendall, to be by her side. It's one of the hardest things about this entire situation.
I'm at this hospital 2 or 3 times a day. I sit outside this hospital.
A worried mother sits numb outside Wellstar Kennestone Hospital.
I didn't even feel the cold because my mind was with Kendall.
Shauna Thomas stuck outside, wishes she was upstairs here with her 14-year-old daughter, Kendall. Kendall is unconscious. She's undergone 2 brain surgeries, had deep brain bruising, pneumonia, and is breathing through a tube after she was hit by a car in the parking lot of North Paulding High School Tuesday on her way to football practice.
It hurts. Wishing that I can do something magical or be the doctor to bring her back.
Prayers for the Thomas family include Kendall's younger brother, who was with her when the accident happened.
Chase was there. He's strong. I talk to him every day. He's hanging on in there.
Kelvin Thomas says he's doing everything he can to spark movement from his daughter. He says she's always been tough, a member of the high school football team and a diehard Falcons fan with a strong faith.
Praying over her all night, playing her favorite song, which is Halo by Beyonce. just talking to her.
Bouquets of flowers sit at Paulding High School as Kendall's classmates and teammates hope for a quick recovery. Authorities have not released information on the person who hit Kendall with their car. There are 2 separate GoFundMes to help Kendall and her family. We'll have a link to that at CBS46.com. But for now, reporting from Cobb County, Savannah Louise, CBS 46 News.
Now at 5, we continue to follow breaking news. Police responding to a shooting in southwest Atlanta at a CVS drugstore. Our Alan Devlin there live. Alan?
Tracy, and I'm standing right in front of that CVS here on MLK Jr. Drive. I want to give you a look right now. Officers removing crime tape, but the situation here unfolded a short while ago. APD tells us that 2 gentlemen were inside the CVS here, and they got into an argument. I want to give you a view from Chopper 46. This was shot moments ago that shows the scene from the air. When those 2 got into that argument, police say it was over a cell phone. The victim gave the suspect a cell phone, and the victim noticed the suspect was opening up a cash sharing app like Cash App or Venmo. That's when they got into that argument, and this victim actually pulled a weapon, and then somehow, some way, that weapon discharged, accidentally shooting the victim. When the gun went off, the suspect then fled the scene, and we've been told by APD that that victim is currently in stable condition at this time. We bring it back down here to the ground. Of course, we can see again they are now removing that crime tape from the vehicles and from the CVS here. We're going to keep following this one and get an update on the condition of that victim, and of course, the whereabouts of that suspect. He remains on the run at this time. Right now, we're in Atlanta. Alan Devlin, CBS 46 News.
A massive new test site opening up in Atlanta and more test kits coming to Americans' doorsteps. Here are today's COVID-19 headlines. A mega COVID-19 testing site scheduled to open tomorrow at the Home Depot backyard. At the site at Mercedes-Benz Stadium will be able to serve up to 2,000 people a day. It'll be open Wednesday through Monday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. President Biden announcing more federal COVID-19 resources. Next week, the president says that he will announce new details on free, high-quality masks for all Americans. The president also announced the administration purchased 500 million additional COVID tests. This is in addition to the previously announced 500 million rapid tests that will be rolled out through a website. And the U.S. Supreme Court blocks the Biden administration's workplace vaccine or test requirement for large workplaces, but the court allows a mandate for federally funded health care workers.
Clayton County officials are doing their part to stop the spread of COVID-19 by passing out free at-home test kits. It happened at 3 locations. CBS 46's Tori Cooper spoke with people at one of those events.
While rapid kits remain in limited supply, soaring case totals are not slowing down in Georgia.
Day after Christmas, a family member said they were positive, and then a couple of days later, I got really sick.
Nicholas Johnson and his wife are just one of thousands of Georgians who popped up positive after spending time with family over the holiday. After a 5-hour wait at a testing site, they learned they were positive and self-quarantined at home. But since then, they haven't been able to find out if they're negative until today.
Trying to make sure we're in the clear.
Clayton County Fire Department, Police Department, and other local agencies passed out thousands of rapid test kits at these 3 locations on a first-come, first-served basis on Thursday to those like Johnson who can no longer afford to wait to know their status.
We came to pick up the test kits.
As of this morning, though, we were still in Cobb County north of 2,600 cases per 100,000, which is tremendously high. The folks with public health would like to have that number down to 100.
Cobb County is also among the other counties now choosing no longer to wait on the federal government to roll out 500 million tests to Americans. Cobb commissioners just approved an emergency purchase of 60,000 at-home kits. The goal? Distribute by Monday to seniors and others who won't have idle time to find out if they have COVID or not.
Maybe they can't leave, they're homebound, they can't get out to a site. They're having trouble arranging an in-home test and everything. And that's who we'd like to get these test kits to.
I picked up the test today just in case I'm around someone, because I do know a few people that have not been vaccinated, and just to be safe.
Now, Clayton County commissioners tell me that just alone at this site, they were able to distribute 3,400 kits. Across all 3, they were able to distribute 30,000 kits just today. They are planning on having another event just like this. But if you are watching right now and you need to get a PCR test, you can also head to Jim Miller Park. There you will be able to get a PCR test until 6 p.m. today. Reporting in Clayton County, I'm Tori Cooper, CBS 46 News.
New tonight, relief for officers in the heart of Buckhead. A new APD precinct unveiled today to help ease the load. CBS 46's Megan Packer live outside the new precinct tonight. Megan, good evening.
Sean, hello. This is the spot where this new precinct will open by this summertime with at least 12 officers. It's right at the corner of Peachtree and West Paces Ferry Roads. The city's new mayor says he is working to restore the trust of the people of Buckhead.
Good, that's outstanding.
This is the future home of a new Atlanta police precinct in Buckhead.
It is of paramount concern to me to stop this crime wave that we have in our city.
Just days into his term, Mayor Andre Dickens was joined by APD's top brass and others to announce they plan to have a dozen officers working out of here by this summer.
What these officers will be doing that work out of this precinct will be handling primarily traffic-related calls. They will be visible, they will be available and open to the community, and that will free up the beat officers to be better crime fighters.
The growth that we're seeing in Buckhead exceeds what we're seeing in other areas. And then that's why we are initiating this effort here first.
Crime is part of what's fueling a movement to have Buckhead become its own city. But the mayor says that movement is not the motivation behind the new APD location.
What is your ultimate hope for this precinct?
Yeah, my ultimate hope is faster response times for police officers and more visibility so that there's more community policing that goes on.
The announcement happened right next to the salon where Julie Morris works.
We're thrilled that the precinct is coming here. It's going to make our clients feel so much safer in Buckhead.
The Buckhead Coalition and Buckhead Community Improvement District are spending $150,000 to get the building ready for the officers.
It's a great example of what can be done when we come together to focus on a problem and come up with a solution.
And the city signed a 10-year lease for $1 a year with Cousins Properties to have this space. So leaders really say this could not happen without the collaboration of everybody involved. We are live in Buckhead tonight. Megan Packer, CBS 46 News.
New details tonight. A 14-year-old is fighting for her life after being hit by a car in the school parking lot. Police say Kendall Thomas was walking to football practice at North Paulding High School on Tuesday. Kendall's parents say she landed on her head and fractured her skull. She's already had 2 brain surgeries and is breathing with the help of a tube.
Let's just say I never seen Kendall cry, only as a baby. You know, I heard her say ouch and things like that. She's strong, smart, courageous. You know, it hurts. You know, wishing that I can do something magical or be the doctor to bring her back.
Authorities have not released information on the driver who hit Kendall. We have details on how you can help Kendall on CBS46.com.
Atlanta police need help identifying a group of people who may be connected to a deadly shooting. The 4 persons of interest were caught on camera at an apartment complex on West Lake Court. Police say the victim was standing in her kitchen when she was struck by stray gunfire back on December 30th. Call Crime Stoppers if you have any information.
There will be difficult days and dark nights, but together we will overcome.
Developing tonight, a message of hope from Governor Brian Kemp, laying out his goals for 2022 with an optimistic tone, as you heard.
CBS 46's Haley Mason live at the Capitol after listening to Kemp's State of the State address. Haley.
Sean, Governor Kemp is trying to make good on some campaign promises through his amendments to the state budget. He says after a historic budget surplus, he's looking to make major funding increases. Democrats, though, say that money does not reach enough Georgians.
Governor Brian Kemp delivering the last State of the State address of his term.
The bold conservative agenda I've outlined over the last few days prioritizes education, health care, and public safety.
He's vowing to complete his promise of a historic $5,000 teacher pay raise. He's proposing in his amended state budget plan the final installment, $2,000.
This $2,000 raise will impact K-12 teachers, assistant teachers, and pre-K teachers.
Kemp also wants to add a one-time bonus to staff like bus drivers, part-time school workers, and nurses. Focusing in on political issues, Kemp vowing to block critical race theory in schools, which is currently not taught in Georgia's K-12 curriculum.
That's why I'm looking forward to working with the members of the General Assembly this legislative session to protect our students from divisive ideologies like critical race theory.
I talked to the president of Georgia's Association of Educators.
We should have
a full, accurate, honest discussion in our classrooms at all times.
CRT is not a real issue. Not in Georgia schools.
Democrats in their response talked about some of the things the governor didn't.
I don't think anyone here is surprised that the governor did not discuss voting rights.
The Democrats also speaking out against constitutional carry that the governor's promoting.
What's the benefit of making it more easier for people to carry concealed weapons, aside from allowing Kemp to score political points with the far-right voters he's hoping that will stick with him in this primary?
Democrats say Georgians are still struggling with health care and the pandemic.
Now, Kemp's lack of leadership when it comes to testing, treatment, and vaccination has contributed to more than 30,000 deaths. You can't shrug your shoulders and instruct Georgians to hunker down.
Democrats say that's because a lot of Georgians do not have health care to fight the pandemic with. Governor Kemp, however, is saying that the state's economy is strong because he did not shut down the state as the pandemic surged. He says that with that money, he wants to add pay to law enforcement as well as state employees. Democrats, though, saying they want him to increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. Reporting live inside the state capitol, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
Thanks for watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.